As I become more aware and accepting of the actual characteristics of my experiences, distinct from the idealized hopes, expectations, and nostalgia with which I view the past and future, I'm faced with a clear understanding that I no longer like the internet. That's not to say that I do not enjoy anything about the internet. It's an understanding that the internet's undesirable characteristics have become aggressively embedded in both the technical and cultural frameworks of the net to an extent that unavoidably degrades my experience and leaves me dissatisfied. For one, there is too much money on the net. Advertising has become a parody of itself, with large banners and automatically playing videos making every effort to snap my eyes away from the information I visited a web page to see. Worse, algorithmically targeted advertisements prey on our vulnerabilities, reminding us of our insecurities and inadequacies that the advertised products and services will ostensibly resolve. These problems extend beyond corporate advertising into the field of independent influencers and content creators, who benefit from exploiting the same tactics advertisers use to hook their audience and maintain a stream of revenue. No longer is the internet an even field where information can be freely exchanged. Now, everything is for sale. It's no wonder that the self-esteem and attention spans of young people have been eroded from exposure to a net that values click counts over successful relaying of information. Overexposure to information has made it difficult to view others as individuals. Scrolling through any site where people congregate to discuss ideas, one is quickly overwhelmed by so many opinions that it is difficult to appreciate the nuance of each as they apply to an individual's circumstances. The processing time needed to understand an individual is far greater than the time between exposures to individual opinions. Thus, we develop a pattern of categorizing others into a small number of groups, which can be quickly organized to filter opinions through the lens of a narrow worldview. This dehumanizing practice makes it much more efficient to evaluate ideas by their association to groups, removing the process of understanding context and nuance. I have never liked associating with labels or groups for fear of being misunderstood. The cultural framework of the internet has made self-association irrelevant, as others will gladly use biased assumptions to label you with no effort to understand the nuance of your person. The proliferation of deep learning and so-called artificial intelligence on the net has become a cause for concern. I do not fear sentient AI, as I don't believe that model of interpreting deep learning processes accurately represents what AI actually does. Fear of sentient AI also ignores the much more realistic prospect of sentient humans using this incredibly powerful tool for nefarious purposes. It is no longer safe to post images of yourself on the internet, as these can be used without your consent to portray you in any number of fictitious contexts. It's no longer safe to assume that collective opinions actually represent the plurality of individuals, rather than a single bot masquerading as a group. Yesterday's concerns about misinformation on the net are nothing compared to the reality we face today and in the years to come. The power of AI lies not only in creation, but also identification. AI is already a standard tool used to identify and remove rule-violating content on platforms where human moderation is neither technically feasible nor fiscally desirable. It's no secret that online speech is strictly monitored in countries whose governments value control of social conformity over their citizens' individual freedoms. As Western democracies seek to tighten their grip on regulation of the internet, we can expect AI to be the primary tool used to suppress voices that diverge from the status quo. I'm less concerned about police knocking on doors than I am about AI removing content or making it functionally invisible to others. AI stands along nuclear weapons as one of the most powerful tools mankind has created thus far, demanding greater responsibility of its wielder than I trust any human, corporation, or state to possess. The internet is a profoundly useful educational tool. Without it, I would not have learned nearly as much as I have about the world, science, history, cultures, or languages. I continue to be enamored by an ideal vision of an internet where information can be freely exchanged to improve our present state of being and prepare a better future for new generations. However, I have given up hope that this ideal can be realized within the technical and cultural frameworks of the internet today. The obstacles that stand in the way of constructive internet use are too many and too great. As long as there is money to be made and people to control, the internet will not be free. I reject this dystopian environment.